What's going on, guys? I'm Jomel from Tribe 3 Productions, and I'm here at Anime Central 2026. And I gotta say, it's a great crowd, very busy for day one. And today, I am presented with the lovely.
Emi Lo, hi.
So, I think you'd agree. I think day one's pretty good so far. What do you think?
Yeah, everybody's been really sweet and wonderful. I've been having a great time.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we have some questions for our viewers today. You think we can get into that, and let's see how things go, right?
All right.
All right, definitely. So you have you voiced a wide range of characters across like anime and games, right? And how do you approach making each one feel distinct?
Basically, whenever I am voicing a character, I try to find a part of that character that I personally identify with. And that's how I make each one real. It doesn't matter how small it is. There's at least something I need to latch onto. And then using that, I can just make it more realistic to myself. And then that will make it more realistic to the audience.
Okay, now I get it. So, and in a way, it's also like makes it more genuine in that sense too.
Yep.
You being able to relate to it kind of just brings out not just part of you, but part of that character to life as well.
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. Well, so going kind of expanding to that too, right? Are there any influences or techniques, other than you've already explained before, you tend to rely on when building the character even further?
Um, if I can read about the character, I try to look into the source material, especially if it's a larger character, if it's like a lead in a story and I can read the material. Unfortunately, for a lot of things, we go in not knowing all that stuff, and so you do have to improvise. And so the ability to improvise is very important. As far as like getting emotions and stuff like that, I'm a classically trained pianist, and so like we have to put music, emotion into music without words and stuff like that. And so it's something I feel like my musical training has helped me with a lot. Just being able to channel that emotion without words.
Actually, that's very interesting. Like you're almost like you're pulling from different art forms to expand your own craft as well, right? Correct?
Yep. Even in classical music, my teacher had always told me, he's like, yeah, go to a museum, look at art, experience the world. And so like that's how you pull in those experiences so that they're lived and then they are just part of you.
Awesome, awesome. So, some of the few roles that you've voiced before, I'm quite fans of myself, like Lucy and Maomao and all that, and kind of narrowing it down, Apothecary Diaries, we're correct? So, Maomao has a very specific tone and personality, right? What was your approach to bringing her to life, using everything that you've told us so far?
So Maomao is just very similar to me as a person. Honestly, it's really funny because I was in a session and a friend of mine was sitting in on the session, and so I do a scene, and then after I finish the scene, he's like, "But that's just Emi," and because she's just very relatable to me. I also just naturally have a drier tone of speaking, but also when I get excited, I get really gremlin-y, and like and also like she makes a lot of noises. I'm very Asian. I make a lot of noises in my daily life. I make my own sound effects. That's just how I am. So like Maomao in particular is just such a very comfortable character for me to play.
Okay, yeah, I mean, and that's what brings it like that genuine, like I guess, character to life because how almost a lot of part of you essentially is, seen through her, correct? So, Maria, going further into Maomao as well, what do you think makes Maomao such a compelling character to audiences?
She's very real. She's jaded, and like especially these days, like the fact that she's not some bright-eyed, naive, innocent character really makes her stand out. You know, she says things as she sees it, keeps it to herself. She doesn't want to accidentally become important at her job, like that meme or whatever. But like at the same time, she's very charming when she like gets excited over poisons, and she's just very smart and intelligent. And the fact that she thinks, I think, is just such a breath of fresh air. And I also think that the fact that she's such an unreliable narrator makes her a lot more interesting as well.
I mean, it kind of shows like, right, we're all human, right? We're not perfect, so that imperfection kind of is relatable to all of us. So.
Yeah, totally. What I think one of her charms is that she's so human and so imperfect.
And that is itself human indeed, right? So, final question of the day. Thank you again so much for having us. Is there a type of role you especially enjoy playing, just off the top of your head, or
It's not really a type of role. I just love any kind of role that I can really dig in deep to, that I can like fully. I leave the booth and feel like I've experienced another life, and like one that will make me exhausted, honestly. And those are just the most fulfilling. I just love to feel things.
I mean, going back before, feeling things is how human we can be, right? And in a way, if you've lived, I guess if you've lived the character's life, I think you probably, I guess, play that character to its extent or to its fullest. I guess that's a better wording.
Yeah, I try. It's hard for me to watch my own stuff sometimes because I'm like, oh, I could have done that differently. But like, it's at the same time, it's interesting because sometimes I'll leave my sessions and I don't remember what I did because I was just trying to live it in the moment. So like, I don't know how I'll turn out.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you again for having us today, and I hope you have a pretty good rest of your Anime Central weekend as well.
You too. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you so much. I'm Jomel from Taiwanese Productions. This has been ACEN Anime Central 2026, and we'll see you guys in the next interview.
Yeah.